Now, so in this video, what we're looking at is how to do photo view 360 for the travel mug project. Now, it's very important I explain something here at the start. The video has to be done, or this video is, I'm using one of the first mugs, but the photo view 360 that has to be done must be done with your own travel mug, whether that's the modification or whether you designed your own mug. You do not use the first travel mug this year because of the new layout of the project. So PhotoView 360 is done with the second project, the second travel mug. So I have opened up the travel mug here. Okay, I'm in my configuration and I have default switched on. Okay, for the moment. I then go to SolidWorks add-ins and I go to PhotoView 360. And what will happen is another tab will open called Render Tools, just here beside SolidWorks 360. It could come at the end, but Render Tools. We'll go into Render Tools. And what we're going to do is we're going to edit the background. We're just going to edit the scene. So I'm going to set up the mug that it's in a position that looks well, that maybe in 3D. You could use some of the options here. Go to the 3D button, possibly pick isometric, or you can move it around with your mouse as you feel. We go to edit scene, and what will happen then is a whole bunch of backgrounds will start appearing. For the first one, I'm just going to use a plain background from SolidWorks. So I'm probably going to use maybe one of the colors. So if you double click it, it switches on. And once I have that done, I then go to render region. And I just want to make sure the render region contains all of the mug. Sometimes it might not. So I just want to make sure it contains all of the mug. And once that's done, I click the green tick and then I go to final render. Now at this moment, the box will appear asking about cameras and whatnot. Just say continue without camera perspective. Now you can mess around with the settings if you want to get higher quality images. But for the scene, for this particular one, continue without camera perspective is fine. Now, at this point, you need to leave your computer basically alone because we're using quite a lot of the graphics card and memory trying to get it to open up the particular images. So you click the option, just give it time, and Windows will start opening and appearing in front of you. Now, so that noise for me is just an indication that it's done one of the images, that it's finished. And I'm happy with that image now as one of my photographs that we're going to include. So I'm going to click Save Preview Image. And then down here in the bottom left, I'm going to click Save Image. And I'm going to save this somewhere that I can easily get to once it's the desktop. And I'm going to call that Image 1. And we click Save. Once that's done, we can exit this by just clicking outside of it. We can click the X here as well. And now we're ready to do the next part. So what I usually get students to do now is to turn on the likes of the cutaway. So I double click cutaway. And we'll move the mug around into a different orientation using the mouse. And again, I'm going to go to final render. I'm going to use the same background. I'm just going to use the 3-point orange background for this one. Now again, that means that it's made the next image. So I click Save Preview Image. Then I click, just push cancel that, sorry. Then I click Save Image. And we're going to call that Image 2. And we're going to save that to the desktop also. Okay, so that's 2 images done. Click outside again. And click the X here. Now I'm going to go to Exploded View. Click the little arrow beside Exploded View. Click Exploded View 1. Now, if you do not have an exploded view, that's okay. You don't need to have an exploded view image. But I personally think that an exploded view looks quite well when done properly with the Photo 360. So you can put it on its side. You don't have to show it in the normal position. So I'm going to show the exploded view on its side for this one. And I'm also going to change the background to a different color. So I might go with factory. And that gives us nice shadows and details. I could even go with office space if I wanted to. There's loads of options, but we'll go with factory. Again, I make sure the render region contains the image, and I go to final render. So again, I can click Save Preview Image, push Cancel in that box when it appears, then click Save Image here, and we're going to call that Image 3. And click Save. And again, click outside, anywhere outside here, and push the red X. Now I'm going to go back to default. And I'm going to put it back into isometric. So click this option here, click the 3D option, and click isometric. Now, we're going to edit the scene again. So we'll go to Edit Scene. Now, before you can move into the next stage, you'll need to take a photograph of the likes of a classroom, or maybe your kitchen at home, or even possibly you could, since it's a travel mug, you could photograph where the mugs are held in a car, you know, the mug holders in the car. It's up to you to decide what the next photograph is for your background. Now, I would prefer a photograph of a classroom, okay, in your school to use as your background. Now, so what we're going to use is the background. We have to make sure that it's changed to image, and then we're going to browse for an image for our background. Now, these are all the SolidWorks ones that are built in. You'll see that there's options there: conference room, daytime, there's industrial, there's landscape, there's even kitchen in here in one of the places. But when you would take your photograph, you need to save it to the computer. You need to go into My Pictures, possibly. You might need to go to the camera roll or somewhere like that to try and find the particular image that you're looking for, okay? Now, for me, I don't have them images saved on this particular computer. So I'm just going to use one of the ones on SolidWorks. But for you, you should try and bring in your own photograph to use as the background. So I'm going to go with kitchen. Now, kitchen might not be on this version of SolidWorks, so what I'm going to go with then instead then is just studio. There we go, conference room, click open. So now what we have is we're in some sort of a room. Now, the next thing I need to do is that mug, I need to be able to put that mug exactly where I want in the background, okay? At the moment, I can't do that with the particular settings that I have on. So I'm going to right click the mug anywhere I like. Sorry, I need to click the green tick first on the left-hand side. Now I'm ready. Right click the mug anywhere I like. And we're going to go to Zoom, Pan, Rotate, and we're going to change it to Pan. When you then click on that, you're able to move the mug exactly where you want to have it. And by rolling the roller, you can make the mug bigger and smaller, okay? Then I would right click again, and I would change it to Roll View. And that allows you to move the mug like this, if you wish, into different positions. Sometimes people like to put on its side, like that, but it all depends on the background. So I'm just going to leave it the normal way up. And once I'm happy with the size, I right click again and I change it back to select. Now, that has my mug. I'm happy with that particular size, okay? I then go to final render. And that's that image done. Now, again, I would prefer if that background was a photograph of your school classroom or some other image that you can take. And once that's done, I click Save Image, and we're going to call that image 4. Now, you can do a 5th image if you wish. You can do a 5th image if you wish, but 4 is enough. I'm now going to open up Microsoft Word or PowerPoint for the next step. Going to a blank document, And I'm going to go to layout. I'm going to change the orientation to landscape. I'm going to change the size to A3. Just zoom back. This is an A3 page now. So I go to insert, pictures from this device, and I'm going to go to the desktop and I'm going to bring in image 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can bring them all in one go if you wish. And then you're able to scale these images down and crop them to the right size. So I would click that one. We go to picture format. We go to crop. And I'm going to remove some of the black border, but not all of it. Sometimes the black border can look well on the images, so I'm going to try and keep it kind of symmetrical. If I can, turn off crop. I then change from text wrap to true. That allows me to shrink the image down to a sensible size. Same for this one. We'll go to crop. Going to crop it down. This time I'm going to remove the black from this particular one. Just to show the mug. Turn off crop. And again, I go to text wrap and I change to true, and I'm going to position that maybe here. And I won't have it the same size as the last one. I might have that one as a larger image. This one here, again, we go text wrap, change to true. That allows me to move it up. Then go to crop. I'm going to crop that down as well to have no border on it. And I'm going to reduce the size of that then to have it kind of small. Position that there. And the final one then, we can go to, again, text wrap, change to true, crop. And this one, we will leave maybe a little black border on it, just for a little bit different. And again, we can decrease the size of that, and we could drop that over here. Now, so something like that is what we're looking for as your final output. That's exactly all that we're looking for. You can give them titles if you wish, but there's no need for it. It's just, that's what we're looking for our final render. But again, as I said in the start of the video, you do not do this for the first travel mug. You're doing this for the second travel mug. Then go File, Save As, and save it as a PDF to the desktop of this particular object. So I click this PC, I change from Word document to PDF. We're going to call that output 7. And I'm going to save it to this PC, click save. And now we have that document. Okay. So I just want to make sure it's saved to the desktop. So I might go save as again, click desktop, call it output 7, click save. Now I know I definitely can get to it easily on the desktop. Now the next thing I want to do is a cover page. Okay. So a cover page is very straightforward. So it's going to go File, New, Blank Document. Again, we go to Layout, Orientation, Landscape, Size A3. There's loads of options now. You can go to Design and you can actually go to, there is an option here for cover page. You could pick one of these cover pages. There's no marks for the cover page, but I'm going to pick this particular cover page here. And the title is important. I'm going to call it DCG 2021-2022 project work, or sorry, SolidWorks assignment. You even say SolidWorks project. Now down here at the bottom, if you know your examination number, you can put in your examination number. If you do not know your examination number, okay, what you're going to put in instead is the following. So let's say we knew our examination number, put in there. If you don't know your examination number, I'm just going to insert a text box. So it's going to click the text box, draw a text box. I'm going to draw a text box here in the middle. And what we're going to put in, so it's going to increase the size of my font so you can see it on the screen, is your date of birth. So it could be 12-12-2022, your date of birth, and then your name. and then have that centralized in the document. You could also then insert maybe one or two of the PhotoView 360 images that you've used already, or you can make a new one. It's up to you. So I'm going to insert just one of these images. Probably this one here is the best looking, I think. And I'm going to crop that again down to size. But again, this is not mandatory. I don't want you thinking that you have to do this. I have to put in an image. You don't have to put an image. The text box that I've just, or the cover page that I've just done up here is finished. I'm only putting this in to try and make it look a little bit more unique to my project. Again, when you're happy with your cover page, go to File, Save As. We're going to change it then to this PC. We're going to call it a PDF as well, and we're going to call it cover page. And we click Save. Then again, just make sure it's saved to the desktop because we're going to need to get to this in a few minutes quite easily. So I'm just going to save again, desktop, click Save. Now we're at the final stages of the project, okay, getting it onto the USB key. Now there will be some of this stuff that I'm going to be doing separately myself when I take up the project work, but this is what I expect you to do as a student for me. Anywhere on your desktop, right click, go to New, go to Folder. We're going to call this DCG SA 2021-2022. Again, if you know your examination number now, type in your examination number. If you do not know your examination number yet, type in your date of birth and your name. Once you have that folder made, double click on it. Inside here then we're going to make two more folders. So we're going to go right click, new folder. We're going to say portfolio in ECTRONIC in electronic format. And we're also going to create another folder that I'm going to call Part A. And we're going to create another folder that we're going to call Part B. Now you might see that you can also create a folder called SolidWorks Parts, and then in that you make Part A and Part B. That's absolutely fine to do as well. Now, that's that done. Minimize that for the moment. I'm now going to go into the drawings of my first travel mug. The drawings of my first travel mug. Okay, so I have my drawings here, my first travel mug. I go to SolidWorks File, and I'm going to Pack and Go. Include everything. So make sure all the include boxes are ticked on at the top. I then go to Browse. I'm going then to the desktop, and I'm going to Part A. I click Select Folder. I then click Save. Then go to SolidWorks File, Save As. Click Yes if that message appears. Change it from drawing to PDF, Adobe Portable Document Format, PDF. Again, go to the desktop, go to your folder called DCG SA 2021 with your name, and this time go to Portfolio in Electronic Format. Click Save. When this message appears, click OK. Make sure the two sheets are turned on. They're both blue. Click OK. Now we're going to repeat the process now for the second travel mug, but this time it's going to go into the folder called Part B. So I'm going to minimize that and minimize this. So I'm going into my second travel mug. I'm going into the drawings of the second travel mug, which unfortunately I don't have here just yet. So I don't have the drawings of the second travel mug on this particular machine. So I'm just going to repeat the process using the first travel mug. It's still the exact same thing. So we'll have to just use our imaginations a little bit then, that these drawing sheets are the drawing sheets of the next travel mug. So this is the drawing sheets of the second travel mug. Again, I go File, Pack and Go. I make sure all the include options are on. I go to Browse, and this time you go to Part B. Click Select Folder, click Save. Again, go to SOLIDWORKS File, Save As. What we're going to change it to is Adobe Portable Document Format, PDF. We again go to the desktop. We go to this. We go to Portfolio and Electronic Format. And we click Save. When the message comes up for 2 sheets, now for your project, because you're only doing 1 sheet, the majority of you are only doing 1 sheet for the second travel mug, this message may not appear. Click OK. Next, we're going to bring in Output 7. I'm going to right-click Output 7 on my desktop. I'm going to click Copy. I'm going into this folder, the DCG folder. I'm going to Portfolio, right-click, Paste. Minimize that. And again, we need to do this for the cover page. Cover page, right-click, cover page. So I go to right-click, I go to Copy. Back into the folder again, Portfolio Electronic, right-click, Paste. Now, I know that there's people who'll be watching this video and you may be wondering about things like e-drawings and stuff like that have to be done as well. All of that, unfortunately, me as a teacher, I do separately. So it won't be on this video. And if I have you for class and you're wondering about e-drawings or any of these live PDFs that you might be hearing, all that is being done for you in class time. Okay. Now, the last thing to do then is that folder that you've just done has to then be right-clicked, copy, and you paste it onto a USB key. And then you submit to me everything that you've done for your project work along with the USB key. Okay, that's the end of the video. If there's any questions, just send me an email. If Pack and Go does not work, so I was asked this in a particular message one time. Pack and Go is not working for me on my computer. Well, there's another option now. You can go to File, Save As, leave it as it is, click the Include All Referred Components. And then again, you can go and you can save that into Part A or Part B. But there's a snag. I have the drawing sheets opened and I've clicked Include All Referred Components. And I'm going to click Save and Done. You would then need to open up the assembly, go File, Save As, Include All Referenced Products, and then save it into the same folder and click Yes to all the options that come up. That's a way of getting around Pack and Go if Pack and Go is not working for you. But usually, I've rarely seen that Pack and Go does not work. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I hope that's beneficial to everybody that's trying to get their project finished at the moment. Thanks very much.